This skill training program is for. So she is the faculty of Microsoft. So I welcome you, Arya ma'am, to the skill training program.
Thank you, ma'am.
So this skill training program is for our intermediate students who will be giving their examination in June 2022. So we have the skill training course where we have SAP, Microsoft, e-filing and Cambridge. So for Microsoft, you are the faculty. So we request you, ma'am, you can kindly start the session.
Thank you, ma'am. Happy to join the
kindly
team.
Introduce yourself. Yeah, ma'am, you kindly introduce yourself to our students. Yeah. Over to you, ma'am. You're on the live screen. Yeah. You're on the live screen, ma'am.
Arya ma'am, are you able to hear?
Ma'am, you have to unmute your microphone. So you are visible. Just unmute your microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah. You may start, ma'am.
Yeah. Can I share the screen?
Yeah. Ma'am, kindly introduce yourself to our students and then you can start your presentation.
Okay. Can we start, ma'am?
Yes, right.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. Good afternoon, all. My name is Arya. I'm Microsoft Certified Trainer in Excel, Word, and PowerPoint, as well as I do take trainings in EHA, CEH courses, as well as Azure certifications. We have platforms in all the Microsoft certified programs, and I handle all the trainings for students as well as faculties and professionals. In Azure related platforms, all the programming related constraints, as well as Office specialist certifications like Excel, Word, and PowerPoint.
Ma'am, you are out of the screen. Arya ma'am, kindly unmute yourself and your video is also not visible. Arya ma'am, kindly unmute yourself and your video is also not visible.
My screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Okay. Can we start?
Yes, kindly start, ma'am. Kindly start.
So we will start this session with the Microsoft Excel. As you all know the importance of... As you know the importance...
Your mobile is, you have kept your mobile or any other system open. So you have to mute or you have to lower the volume of the speaker of that system, particular system. Otherwise, there's some echo.
start this session with the Microsoft Excel. As you all know the importance.
Ma'am, echo sound is coming. Kindly mute your mobile or any other system that you have opened. Arya ma'am, kindly stop the video and share it once again. Yeah, it's visible now. Ma'am, but you are not visible. Your screen is visible.
I hope it's all clear now.
Yes, it is all clear. You may kindly continue, madam.
So today we will start with Microsoft Excel. As you all know, Excel has a very important role in every student's, even though in academics, as well as you are getting into a job as well. So in whatever domains you are doing, you are handling with data only. So whatever data we are handling, we have to organize the data in a proper way. We have to arrange the data. We have to handle the data as well as we have to analyze the data. So for all these purpose, we will be handling Excel sheets. We will be handling different tools in Excel.
Excuse me, madam.
Like that.
Madam, sorry to interrupt you. Ma'am, your echo sound is coming. So I think any other system, have you opened any other system?
You are getting into a job as well. So in whatever domains you are doing, you are
Ma'am, have you opened any other screen or other system?
have to organize the data.
Ma'am, you have to close that system, madam.
Handle the data as well as we have to analyze the data. So for all these purpose, we will be handling Excel sheets. We will be handling different tools in
Ma'am, Riya ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, can Arya ma'am just log out and log in once again?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. I'll inform her.
Ma'am, is that clear?
Ma'am, your video is coming, but your presentation is not coming. Yeah, it's okay. Now you may continue, madam.
Okay. So whenever you open an Excel document, this will be your interface. What you are seeing in your Excel, this will be your interface with too many cells like this, grid lines like this. You'll be having too many bars like this, different sections like that. So what you're handling with the sheet is like, you will be handling data only. So data handling is an important task for you, or for all of you, in whatever domain you are working. In any department you are there, in whatever in HR department or in marketing or in sales or production. The thing is like the core point is the data you are handling. So you have to import your data from different files. You have to format your data. You have to analyze your data. And you have to come to a conclusion. You have to prepare reports based on your data like that. So Excel is a very powerful tool, and you can have many options inside Excel to handle all this data. So first we will analyze the interface. So whatever, when you open your Excel sheet like this, So you can see that there are many tabs inside your Excel sheet. You're having a home tab, you're having an insert tab, you're having a draw tab, layout tab, or formulas tab, data tab, like that. So using all these options, you can handle your data, you can manage your data, as well as you can analyze your data and represent your data. So we will go through each and every constraints in very detail, like the overall topics that we'll be handling in Excel. Start from the basic concept. We will understand how to import the data from different formats. Say, for example, when you're working in a domain, it is not mandatory to save all this data in an Excel format, right? So nowadays, the more security will be in online manner. So we will be saving our data online, or it will be in the form of text, or you can save your data in whatever format you want. So first you can import into this into an Excel sheet, then you can handle the data accordingly. So initially when we say like handling the data, you can see an interface like this. So it is having, so first I can introduce you the interface. You will be having different columns like this, and you will be having different rows like this. And every rows and columns are having headers as well. So whatever it is named as A, B, C, D, these are called column headers. And whatever it is named as 1, 2, 3, it is called row headers. And we can say like the intersection of a row and a column is called a cell in Excel. So when I click on this cell, you should have a reference. Reference is something called address. Each and every one of you having an address. Address is to locate you in the correct spot. Either you can have an address for a single cell, or you can select it as a group of cells like that. So every cell is having a cell address. It will be in terms of the selected column and row as well. And you can see many grid lines over here. There are straight, horizontal, and vertical grid lines over there. So you can enable these grid lines as well as you can disable these grid lines. So we will see the formatting of the page as well. Then whatever you are seeing in the top of the screen, like home, insert, layout, formulas, data, these are called tabs in Excel. And when you click on each tab, you will be getting different sections like this. So we can say it is as a group. You will be having in your window, when you're using Windows machine, the groups will be named. You will be having an editing group inside the home tab. You will be having an editing group. You will be having a sort and filter group. Alignment group will be there. So there are different groups as well. So inside each group, you will be having different icons as well. So you have different options to do all these type of formatting. So the combination of all these things, all your sections, all your tabs, all your groupings. So overall, we can say like that is called the ribbon part of the Excel. So all the handling of your tools can be done from the ribbon tab. And the top you can see the name of the file. My file name is introduction. So that is called the title bar. The title of the sheet will be displayed at the top of the screen. Then you are having a quick access toolbar. So quick access toolbar, in my screen you can see I'm having a home tab, I'm having a save, then I'm having some sort tab as well. So all these are called quick access toolbar in my Excel. So whatever tools I need to access very quickly, I can put it inside the quick access toolbar, and it is customizable as well. So near the quick access toolbar, you can see arrow mark like this with a name customize quick access toolbar. So when I click on this button, you can see that some common accessible options are available on my screen. New, home, save, send, workbook, print, like that. And you can see that few options are checked as well. Checked in the sense, it is already added to my Excel sheet. Home is already added, save is already added, undo is as well as already added. So you can customize your quick access toolbar as well. So click on the arrow mark, that is customize quick access toolbar on your Excel worksheet, and go for the option more commands. Now you will get a screen like this, that is the ribbon and the toolbar. So here it shows In the quick access toolbar tab, you can see all the commands here. So in this drop down, you can choose whatever command you want. So practically, as per your requirement, you can customize the tool and you can add it to your quick access toolbar as well. Say for example, if you are handling the data, so you feel like always you need to sort your data or you need to filter your data as well. So you need such tabs in your quick access toolbar. Or you are working like you always handle the data in the representation segment. You will be always handling dashboards, you will be handling reports as well. So you can add such tools in your customization toolbar as well. So you can select from what tab you want to add that particular tool. So in the home tab, it will display all the available options here. So from here, you can just click this. So I'm selecting an option, auto-fit column width. So I click this option and you can add this button to the customized quick access toolbar. Now see my window, I'm having my home tab, I'm having my save, undo, custom sort and auto-fit column width as well. So when I save this, you can see that auto-fit column with the tool which I have added just now, it is displayed on my toolbar in my customized window as well. So like this, you can add, you can choose any commands from your toolbar, from your customization window. You can choose any commands, whatever commands, any popular command or some commands, it won't be visible in your ribbon as well. So you can just right click on your ribbon and you can see what all commands, what all tabs are visible and what all tabs are not visible as well. So you can choose the tabs from this session and you can select what option to be displayed here. And you can move to the customize quick access toolbar section and you can save the changes. So whatever option you are adding, that will be displayed in your quick access toolbar. So quick access, it is always used to access something very quickly. So it varies depending upon your requirement as well. In whatever tools you are using very frequently, or you can add any type. In the home tab, any option you can add, or insert related option, or printing related option, or whatever tool you are using very frequently. And if you feel like you want to include it in a very accessible point, you can select that and you can include it in the customize quick access toolbar as well. And inside the home tab, all the alignment related option, all the formatting related option. So we will see each and every option in detail in the coming session. So whenever you are having a data, so you will be having data like this, right? So it will be having, you will be handling too many columns and you will be having too many rows as well. So you have to represent your data in an efficient manner. So you have to give a good formatting style. You have to give a proper number formatting. So most probably when you're handling data in accounts, the representation of the data is very important. Your date representation, your number representation, your character representation, your page representation, everything is important while you are handling data. So all your representation related tabs like the formatting, whenever you have to change your font, change the size, color, alignment related option. There are different types of alignment in Excel, left, right, justify, like that. You can set up the borders related option, conditional formatting. Whenever you have to format your data accordingly, so you are having different conditional formatting. Now, if you want to format your data as a table, different cell styles, for each cells, if you want to give some formatting, like when you are giving a heading, instead of going and selecting it in a proper size or font like that, directly you can use the cell style option and you can give a proper title or heading style as well. Or you can insert cells, or you can sort and filter related option, replacing related option, clearing format, clearing content, clearing all the commands or links. All that options are available in your home tab. And when we come to the insert tab, as you know, we can insert many types of objects into our Excel sheet. It can be a shape, it can be charts, or it can be a sparkline graphics or link, hyperlink you can insert, either redirecting to a web page as well as inserting your link to an existing workbook, or comments you can insert. Like that, any type of object you can insert into your Excel worksheet. It can be done through the insert tab, as well as tables. So there are two types of tables in Excel, normal table and pivot table. So you can insert any type of table, then to give a different effect to your imported data, you can use your draw tab, then page layout tab. Whenever we have to give a proper layout for your page, you can use the page layout tab to set your orientation, margin. Whenever you have to take printout of your pages, to set, you can manage different types of print options as well. Then setting background, setting the view of your page as well. Then formulas. Formulas plays a core part in Excel. So whenever you have to handle your data, you have to calculate, you have to do many calculations on your data as well. So you will be learning, we will be starting from the basic formulas, and we will be moving on to the very high advanced formulas as well. Many types of formulas are there. There are mathematical formulas, financial related formulas are there. Like that, you will be handling different levels of formulas in the coming sessions. Then to importing your data, as we have discussed in the beginning of the session, you can import different types of files into the Excel sheet. If your file is saved in an HTML format, you can import your HTML document, or you can import a text document, or you can import it from a database as well. So in an organization, you will be having a database to store all the details as well, the employee details, the customer details, the transaction details, everything, it will be in the database as well. So you can connect to your database, and you can import your files into the Excel as well. Then all the sorting and filter related option, validation. So when you will be learning how to handle the data validation when you are sharing a form, lifetime interactive forms with the customers and all, data validation is very important. So we will see how to validate your data. And in the review tab, how to do the comments, how can you insert your comment, how to protect your worksheet, how to restrict the permissions when you are collaborating your Excel worksheet, how can you restrict all these permissions, and how can you make it available for the users as well. Like that, you can handle the data from your review tab. Then in your view tab, we will discuss different views for the Excel sheets as well, in what all views are available and what are the difference between all these views, freezing options, like that. So this is the overall view of the Excel, and during the all session, we will be going through each and every topics in detail. So we will be starting from the very basics, from the interface we have started, and we will be moving through the topics in a very progressive manner, and we will be ending up in creating and interactive dashboards as well, which will be very beneficial when you are handling all these data and representing data content as well. Okay, so we will start with the very first topic, freezing option in Excel. So here you can see that whenever you have a data in a sheet, your data will be in this particular format only. It is not mandatory, like it won't be properly aligned. It won't have much effect like this. It is not properly represented as well. So we have to format all this data in a very proper manner. So you can see name box is there. Using the name box, when I click on each cell, so I'm clicking on this particular cell. So when I click on this cell, see my name box, whatever I'm seeing here, this is called my name box here. Okay, a small box that appears on my left hand side, that is called a name box. And besides the name box, I'm having a formula bar also. So whatever formula I'm entering in my sheet, that will be displayed in the formula bar. And below the name box, you can see an inverted triangle that is called select all button in Excel. Say for example, when I click on this inverted triangle button, that is called a select all button in Excel, and all these terminologies in Excel is also important. Once you have learned Excel, when you have attended an Excel training, means you should be aware about all the terminologies in Excel, all the basic things as well as the advanced things as well. So this is called a select all button. So when I click on this button, you can see that the entire sheet got selected with data and without data. Whatever I'm having, the entire sheet got selected like this. So that is called a select all button. And here, when I click on the cell, so this is a cell. So when I click on the cell, you can see that in the name box, I got the reference of that cell. What is that cell actually located? So F4, why it is called an F4? It is an intersection of the column F and the row 4. So that is called an F4. So when I click on this particular cell, that is called an I4. Why it is an I4? It is an intersection of the column I and row 4. Same way, when I select this range of cell, you can see the name box. The first selection is displayed, E5. Whatever it is, when I'm selecting a range of cell, you can see the name box. The first cell reference is displayed over here. Now, let me reverse the process. Using the name box, I can locate different cells as well. Say, for example, using the name box, in the name box, I am entering A100. That means I need to locate the cell A100. I press enter. Now see, my navigation, I am redirected to the cell A100. Or let me say, I need to locate G5. Enter G5 in the name box and press enter. You can see that G5 is located. That is selecting a single cell. Same way, I can select a range of cells also. Whenever you have to select a range of cell, you have to use colon. So I'm using a colon, G5, colon, G10, I said. Press enter. So it will select a range of cell. From G5 to G10, it will be selected. Same way, you can select random cells also. Say for example, in the name box, I'm entering G5, comma, H5, comma, J8, comma, H22. Press enter. See, whatever cells I have selected, all the random cells will be selected like that. So your selection will be like that. So you can use commas and select the cells like that. So here F2 and H6 will be selected, or you can use colon to select the range of cells G5 to G6. That means the range G5 to G6 is selected. Same way, I can use like this also. G5 to G10, comma, J7, colon, J18. So these all are related to name box. So you can, using the name box, you can locate different cells in your Excel sheet, as well as you can see a drop down for your name box also. So there is a drop down arrow for the name box. So the use of name box is like you can locate the cells as we have seen just now. Apart from that, you can use name box and whatever tables you are having in your Excel workbook, not in the sheet I'm saying, in my workbook, what all Excel tables I'm having, what all name ranges I'm having. So I will explain what is tables and what is name ranges in the coming session. But keep in mind, using the name box, I can locate the tables in my workbook, as well as I can locate all the name ranges in my workbook also. So that are the three uses of the name box. First one, I can locate the cell. Second one, I can locate the table in my workbook. And the third one, I can locate the name ranges in my workbook, not in the sheet, in the workbook as well. So we will come to the first topic, freezing option. So you are having all the data like this. So you can format your data content in any way. So I'm using the select all button. So all the data having content and all the cells without content, everything is getting selected using the select all button. And you can apply whatever formatting you want. You can apply a different font style you can apply. You can give a bold effect. You can give a different font color. And I feel like for this row 1, I'm going to the cell style, and you can give a different cell style to the selected row. That is possible. You can increase the font size. So now see, when I do all this formatting, my data is not fit to the cell, right? You cannot read all your headings properly. It is congested actually. The cell space is not sufficient to fit the data inside that. So when you are facing such issues, you are having width settings options in your Excel. So you can get it from your format tab or from your right click as well. Okay. So I have selected the first row. In the home tab, select the format drop down arrow. Here you are having your cell size related option. You can set a row height. You can manually give a measurement and you can set your row height. Say for example, for this it is 36. I'm increasing it to 30. Click OK. You can see that my size of the row has increased. Like that you can set. Or auto fit row height. Automatically it will fit to the content and it will be inside the specification. By default it is having a specification. You can set it like that. It is possible. Same way column width. So when you are having long contents and all, it is not mandatory that every time our data fit into the cell. So you can adjust your row height as well as your column width. So using the column width, you can manually adjust the column width. Say for example, I'm giving it as 25, click OK. Now you can see that my column width has changed. Like that you can see. Or again I'm using the format drop down option and I have the option called auto fit column width. The same option you can get it from your right click also. Select your first row and go for your right click option. You will get the same option auto fit column width. Okay. So when you use this option, auto fit column width, you can see that currently by default, it will set inside the width of the column. So each and every headings will be fit inside the column like this. So you can set your row height as well as column width in a proper and appropriate manner. So all our data content will be visible. All our headings will be visible as well. So the option whenever you are formatting your data, setting your row height and setting your column width is very important. And another common error that you might get when you are handling data content is a hash like error. I can show you a demo. See the data here. When you open some Excel files, you will get a hash error like this. Your data is not visible. Your content will be like in this format, like a hash symbol. Okay, in whatever format it can be. It can be in the column of date or names or some values like that. So whenever you are having a hash error, identify the enterings in that particular cell is not fit to the corresponding cell. That's why you are getting a hash error. So what you can do is like you have to go for the auto fit column width option. So if you are having only the error in one particular cell, directly you can right click and you can get for auto fit column width option in your Windows machine. Otherwise, you can go for a selection and you can choose auto fit column width option, or you can select the entire data content. If you are having error in so many columns, it is not possible to select one by one like that. So you can select it entirely and you can go for auto fit column width option. So why you are getting this hash is because your data is not fit inside the cell. That means you are not having the sufficient space to fit the cell. So you can select that particular column, go to the home tab, in the clear button drop down, in the format button drop down, you will have the option called auto fit column width. So when you go for this option, you can see that your contents will be automatically fit inside the column like this. Okay. So while you are formatting your data, auto fit is an important. representation of your data is important. So you have to give a proper heading style, a proper font style. It should be visible in the first glance itself. So your data should be properly managed. Now, the second possible difficulty that you can face is like, say I'm having this much data. I need to enter some content in the last cell. So I have to enter 52, but here I don't know the heading. So usually what we will do, we will just scroll down. Yeah, this is marital status. Okay, now again you will scroll, you will enter your marital status. Again for the next cell, you need to know the heading, right? So you have to scroll it down. Again you have to go for address. Again you have to scroll it down. That is not a proper way to enter the data, right? Or when you are comparing your data, this is entering. I have shown you the case of entering. Same way, you are comparing using the age. You have to check for this age 55. What is the pager entry or what is the internet column entry? So each and every time the data is not constant, right? You have to each and every time drag it off or scroll down and up and see, and it is difficult to manage when you're having large data file. So to overcome such issues in Excel, you are having freeze option in your view tab. In your view tab in the Excel, you are having freeze option. So indirectly, you can see three options there. Either you can freeze your top row, or you can freeze your first column, or you have an option called freeze pin. So we will see one by one. So first one is a direct option. You can freeze your top row. Okay, why it is mentioned as top row? Most probably when you're organizing your Excel sheet, all your headings, it will be in the top row only. All your headings, it will be in the first column only. So directly you are having two options. Either you can freeze your top row or you can freeze your first column as well. So now we will go with the first option. I'm going for freeze top row. Okay. So in the view tab, it suddenly changed to unfreeze pane. That means something is freezed in my sheet. Okay. So I have enabled the option freeze top row. Now let me scroll the data and see. See, my first row is freezed here. When I scroll my data down, you can see that your first row is freezed. So this is useful comparing with the heading. When you want to compare the other data files, or when you have to add new data entries, or when you have to do some comparisons in your Excel worksheet, you can make use of this freeze option in a very efficient manner. So I have freeze the first row here. So my headings, they are in the first row. So they are freeze. I can scroll. I can see my headings very clearly, and I can enter the data, and I can compare any cells with the headings very easily. So like that I can do. Now let me unfreeze. Now we will go to the second option. I can freeze the first column also. So I am using the option freeze first column. As the first row, my first column is also freezed over here. See, the first column is age. So it is freezed. So with age, I can compare any data here. You can compare it with multiple lines. You can compare it with voicemail, pager, internet data, or you can add new entries here also. Like this, you can add your data. So that is a direct two options available. Either you can freeze your top row or you can freeze your first column. So as the name indicate, it will freeze your top row or it will freeze your first column. Now let me unfreeze everything. But this is not the case, right? Sometimes we have to freeze a group of rows or group of columns, or sometimes we have to freeze a group of rows and a group of columns as well. So there are different cases when we are handling this Excel sheet. So here we have seen our first case is freezing your top row. Second case is freeze your first column. Now we will see how to freeze group of row or column. Okay. So here, the case is like, when I scroll down, you can see a practical question here. Okay. So my case is like, when for this data, everything is scrolling. I have not freezed anything. So my practical case is like, when I scroll down this data, I want this art. I want this heading, whatever it is in this green box. I want this heading and my headings for the data content, my column headings to be visible. That is my case. Okay. So you will be having your company name will be displayed in the first few cells. Then you will be having different column headings. After that, your data will be displayed. So my case is like, when I scroll down my page, I want this heading as well as my column headings to be visible. If you want to freeze a group of rows, so here I need to freeze row 1 to row 9. That is the case. I have to freeze row 1 to row 9. So when you have to freeze a group of rows or group of columns in Excel, you have to select plus 1 row or plus 1 column in your Excel sheet. Example, here I need to freeze row 1 to row 9. Here you need to select your row 10. Only your row 10, not the entire rows. I repeat, whenever you have to freeze a group of rows, always select the plus 1 row in your Excel sheet. Here I'm having 9 rows. I need to freeze the 10th row. Okay, so select your 10th row. Come to your view tab and go for the option freeze panes here. I've used the freeze pane option. Now just scroll and see. My first 9 rows are freezed here. I repeat the process. Whenever you have to freeze a group of rows, you have to select the plus 1 row. Example, when we'll see with this case as well. Here, my case is I need to freeze the first 5 rows. So whenever you have to freeze the first 5 rows, you have to select the 6th row. Only the 6th row. Come to the view tab and go for the option freeze pane. Now when you scroll up and see, you can see that you have made the first 5 rows constant. You have freezed your first 5 rows. Like that it is possible. Now let me unfreeze. Same way, you can repeat the process for group of columns also. Example, whenever you have to freeze a group of columns. Here, my case is like, I want the first 3 columns to be freezed when I scroll my data horizontally like this. That is my age, my marital status, and my address. The 3 columns should be freezed. For that same way, I have to select the plus 1 column. That is the column D. Go to your view tab. Just let me unfreeze and freeze again. Now when you scroll your data horizontally, you can see that your first 3 columns are freezed here. Column A, column B and column C. Okay, so let me add one more point. The freezing is possible in Excel only with reference to your first row or first column. You cannot freeze in between rows or in between columns in Excel. By default, freeze option in Excel is practical with reference to your first row, that is first few columns or first few rows. Like that only it is possible in Excel by default. So like that it is possible. And the last option is, the 4th case is like, whenever you have to freeze a group of rows and group of columns. Here we have seen how to freeze your rows or columns. So either you can freeze your row or either you can freeze your columns as well. We have seen either you can freeze your first 5 rows by selecting the 6th row and go for the view option and freeze pane option. That is case 1. Or you can freeze a group of columns also. Say for example, if you need to freeze till E, if you want to freeze your first 5 column, you have to select your 6th column. Only the 6th column. Come to the view tab and go for the freeze option. Okay, but rows are not freezed. See, when I use this option, my columns are only freezed. My rows are not freezed here. Okay, that is the requirement, right? Some cases we have to freeze the rows and columns together in some cases. So if that is the case, what you have to do is like you have to select the intersecting cell. Say for example, my requirement is I have to freeze the first 5 rows and the first 3 columns. This is my requirement. So see, when I have selected the first 5 rows and when I have selected the first 3 columns, you have to select the next intersecting cell. Here it is D6. Or the other method to locate the cell is like when I have to select the first 5 rows, usually I have to select the 6th row, only the 6th row. Same way, when I have to select freeze the first 3 columns, I have to select the 4th column. Now locate your intersecting cell. Here D6 is the intersecting cell here. So select your intersecting cell, come to your view tab and go for the option freeze panes here. Now both your group of rows and columns are freezed here. So when you scroll up, you can see that your first 5 rows are freezed. And when you scroll horizontally, you can see that your first 3 columns are freezed here as well. Like this. Okay, I repeat, there are different cases to freeze your rows and columns in Excel. Freezing means you are making something constant in Excel. So whenever you are handling large data files, large data, there are cases when you have to compare your data, whenever you have to enter new entries. When I'm talking, when you are handling large files, say for example, you are having 100 rows or 100 columns. In that case, it is not possible to each and every time scroll up and see the data. So you can make use of freeze option in your view tab. So there are 3 types of freeze option. You can directly freeze your top row, first column, or you can freeze group of rows or column. So whenever you have to freeze a group of rows or column, you always have to select plus 1 row or column and you can go for the freeze option. So whenever you have to freeze a group of rows or columns, you have to select the intersecting cell over there, only the intersecting cell. Then you have to go for a freeze pane option in your view tab. So these are the different ways in which you can utilize your freeze option in Excel. So let me conclude today's topic. So we have started with the introducing to the interface you are seeing. So whatever we have seen is called a worksheet in Excel. So whatever we have opened like this, but whatever you have opened, it is called a workbook in Excel. Okay, so this is a workbook. This is a workbook. When I open this workbook, whatever I am getting is called a worksheet in Excel. So in next class, we will see how to add different worksheet, how to manage your worksheet, how to copy, how to move, how to change the tab color, how to protect your worksheet as well. So whatever you have seen when you open your Excel, it is called a worksheet. And there are different tabs in your worksheet. You are having a ribbon to manage all the tools in your Excel worksheet. You are having a customizable toolbar, quick access toolbar in your Excel worksheet. So in the QAT, quick access toolbar, whatever tools you are using very frequently to handle your data, you can put it in the quick access toolbar panel and you can use it accordingly. Then we have seen how to give a different formatting options to your content. You can give a different style in your home tab. You're having different styling options for your data. You can give a different font color. You can give a fill color option. You can set the alignments after the selection as well. And we have seen your data should be visible in whatever format you have applied or whatever styles you have applied. Your contents should be visible when you are handling your data. So you can go for the format option and you can set your row height as well as column width for your data. And the topic that we have discussed today is freezing your data worksheet. So whenever you are handling large Excel sheets like this, you have to freeze your data sheets as well. So your content, in order to handle or in order to compare your content, you can make use of the freezing option. So you can freeze your, in your view tab, you are having different options to freeze your content. So you can go for, you can freeze your top row, you can freeze your first column, or you can freeze a group of rows or group of columns by selecting the freeze pane option, by selecting the +1 row or +1 column, and go for the freeze pane option in your view tab. Or whenever you have to freeze a group of rows and a group of column, you have to select the intersecting cell and you have to go for the freeze option. And keep in mind, in Excel by default, the freezing is possible in respect to the first row or the first column as well. So we have discussed through the main topics as well. So if you are having any doubts, we can move on to the Q&A session.
Yes, Arya ma'am.
Yeah, if any questions, we can move on to Q&A session.
Yes, ma'am. There is freeze options. They said to explain one more time.
Ma'am, can you please repeat the question?
Ma'am, freeze option. Freeze option. They want to repeat one more time. Explanation there is one more time.
Yeah. Freeze option, freezing in Excel, it is used to make your cells or rows or columns constant. Say for example, when you are handling data files like that. So let me show a real-time file. So I can show you a student report file. This is a student report file. So when I'm handling this file, when I'm comparing this file, so in this file I'm having different entries like this. I'm having the roll numbers are there. I'm having the name of the students. I'm having the mail ID, section, some score, and exam status is there. So using the freeze option, so quickly if I want to add some more data. Say for example, this data file is having 397 entries are there. Okay, here I need to enter a new entry, 398 entry I need to enter. So I need to see the headings. So when you are handling your data files like this, if you want to add some more data content or using this roll number, I want to get the status of the student. Okay, I just want to compare. So rather than scrolling it here and there like that, you can make use of the freeze options in your view tab. So when I go for the option freeze top row, when I scroll, you can see that my first row of the Excel sheet will be constant. It will be freezed. Making freezed means making the row constant. So I can make the first row constant. Same way, I can use the option freeze first column. That means the first column in my Excel sheet will be constant. Or say for example, I want till the student name, it should be constant. Using that, I need to compare the status. If that is the case, you have to select +1. If you want to freeze any number of rows or any number of columns, always select the +1 column or +1 row. So here I need to freeze the first 3 columns. So select your 4th column, go to your view tab and go for the option freeze pane. So I have freeze the first 3 columns like this. Or if you want to freeze a group of row or a group of column, you can select an intersecting cell. So here I'm selecting D6, and when I go for view and freeze pane option, you can see that the group of rows and the group of columns will be freezed like this. So using the freeze option in Excel, you can make all these rows or columns or data constant. So freeze option, it is with respect to your first column or first row, and practically you can use this freeze option to compare your data, to make new column entries as well as to make new row entries as well. So I hope it is clear, freezing option, how to make your data constant in Excel. Okay, ma'am, can we move on to the next question?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, they need once more an explanation for error problem, that is hash, which is in the cell.
Hash, because see my data here, I am having a content here, right? So sometimes when you open your file, you will be getting a hash error like this. Why the hash error? Because it is a formatting error. So in this formatting, my data content is not fit to the cell. That's why I'm getting this hash error. So to remove this hash, either you can select that or enter thing, or anyway you have to include that hash inside your selection. Come to the home tab. And from the format drop down, go for the option auto fit column width. Your columns are not fit to the cell. That's why you are getting the hash error. So from the home tab, from the format drop down, you can use auto fit column width, or the same option, you can get it from your right click also. If you are using your Windows machine, in your right click, you will get the same option, that auto fit column width. So when you do the auto fit column width, the hash error. Why that hash error? Because your data is not fit inside the cell. That's why you are getting the hash error. So you can remove it by either you can manually set the width also. That is also correct. If you can manually set your column width, or you can auto fit your column width, both will work. So you have to put your data inside in a correct manner. So if it is fit inside the cell, the hash error will be automatically removed from your cell. That is a hash error. Clear.
Ma'am, there is one option. There is one question, interesting one, is that if we want to freeze 2 different rows, is it possible?
You can freeze any number of rows, but it should be with respect to the first row.
Yes, ma'am, the example is given as to if they want to freeze row 10 and row 30, is it possible?
Till 13 you can freeze. By default in Excel, freeze will work with respect to the first row or first column only. Not only 10 and 13, you can freeze till 13 like that.
Okay, ma'am. That's it. Okay. That's it, ma'am.
Okay, so that's all for today, ma'am. So see you all tomorrow. We will continue the session, the remaining topics. So tomorrow we'll be handling how to manage your worksheet, how to efficiently format your data, and we will moving through all the advanced as well as basic options as well. So see you all tomorrow. Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah. So thank you, students. That's all for today. So we'll be seeing you tomorrow. Tomorrow's session is at 10:30 of SAP. So have a nice day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Thank you, Arya, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.